I just spent $1,000 on this dirt bike that the seller said was running last summer. Looking at it, the throttle's locked up, the hot start's locked up, the crank is also locked up. I don't know if it was actually running last summer. In this mini-series, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take this apart, see if we can get everything fixed, running again, and being something respectable on the trails. So let's jump into it. So this video series is not gonna replace my normal truck content and car content. This is gonna be something that's launched on Wednesdays, so you'll get to see it midweek if you wanna watch it, but I'd appreciate it if you watch it. So this dirt bike here was originally listed for $1,500. It's in pretty bad condition. So it was originally listed, said the throttle cable is seized, which it is. Over winter, all the oil leaked out, and that's about it. It was listed for $1,500. After that, I sent the seller a message and they said, hey, the oil leaked out over winter and the engine's completely frozen. So I talked them down to $1,000 and it's probably worth $1,000 or less. There's a lot of problems with this that we're gonna go ahead and jump into and see if we can diagnose and fix. So this right here is a 2004 Honda CRF250X. It's a trail bike that was made in the mid-2000s that went to the mid-20-teens. And they've made a good amount of them and a lot of their parts are interchangeable, but parts are becoming harder to find. So the throttle on this is completely locked up. The hot start doesn't work. The engine is also locked up. Under here, so the idle screw's frozen. The choke, which is under here, is also frozen and I can't get it to move at all. And overall, it needs a good amount of work. We're also gonna go ahead and add up all the costs that go along with rebuilding this so we can see how far underwater I am. So these high-strung 254 strokes, people don't typically rebuild them. They make them as parts bikes. That's not what's gonna happen to this one. This one's gonna get rebuilt and restored. So with that, let's go ahead and take it outside, let's wash it up, and then start taking it apart. All right, so there's definitely some oil underneath here, and we'll have to check this oil drain bolt and everything, but it's a mess under there. We'll clean everything up first, and then we'll take a look. All right, so all cleaned up back in the garage. It looks okay, but one of the things I noticed while I was cleaning up is this in the bottom of the case. I noticed this crack right here. And you can kind of see this crack going from here over to this side. There's a few little small cracks like that. Then this one is probably the one that concerns me the most. And this is the one that I'm gonna have to check. So I'm actually not going to pull the drain plug right now. The guy did say that he parked it and the oil just drained out. I'm hoping it's the drain plug. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fill this up with oil and we're going to check it to see where that oil is actually coming out now that the bash guard is off. We can take a look at the oil filter right now and just see, is there any metal shavings in there? That would be a good sign that there is a bigger problem that I need to address. But hoping the case is okay. If not, gotta figure out the bottom end. And this is interesting. The owner said that the last time he used it was about a year ago, maybe a few years ago. The last time it was registered was 2018. Well, I guess the good news with this is there's no metal in the filter at all, which is a positive, but that doesn't mean he didn't change this filter out after there was an issue. All right, so that's old, that's not the oil from this bike, but since we are sitting here waiting for my oil to come to check this out, I put the cover back in. I'm gonna go ahead and take off all these plastics just to get better access to everything. How do we think the battery is? So this is the battery for the starter. So it has both the kickstart and electric start. 0.29 volts. Battery acid or just junk? Either way, probably needs to be replaced. Getting the gas tank out, ended up taking out the fuel petcock, and then after that, it was as simple as just lifting the tank off. Tank gas does need to be dumped and drained. Gas tank is out. Pulled the coil out. You can see some rust there. Pulled the plug out, and the plug is a mess. Here's what it looks like, and you can definitely see a lot of corrosion. Guessing it's old gas, water, not 100% sure. But let's go ahead, let's borescope the cylinder see what we see before we take everything apart. All right, so going into the cylinder, the first thing I'm noticing is a bunch of junk built up on top of the cylinder. And then jumping over to the sides, it does look like the walls are okay in some areas, but you can see where junk has been coming in. I don't know if this junk is coming in from the intake side, but it's something that I need to dig deeper into. All right, so I turned the camera sideways to take a look at the valves to try to see if any damage has been done. Really hard to see, but all 4 valves are there, and I really need to take them out to take a look. All right, looking at this, gonna guess some mice got in the car, but that does not look good. And it looks like it's gonna be expensive. That is pretty bad in there. And that's gonna be, oh look, there's some acorns. Wonderful. All right, so it looks like the mice actually got to the TPS sensor wires in there. So that needs to come out. And the carburetor is coming out now. What a mess. All right, my jack is here. And I've pretty much got the carburetor ready to come out. I disconnected all the cables, the throttle cables, everything from it. I did have to disconnect the hot start just because it's still frozen. And I'll have to take those there, but it is coming out now. All right, so the carburetor is off and it's a mess. So this entire thing needs to be replaced, which is really gonna hit the budget. And one of the things I've never seen before in one of these carburetors is this. A crack right there going down the side of the carburetor all the way to the flow pole. I have never seen a carburetor crack like this. I'm wondering if someone was playing with the throttle too much after it was damaged and just damaged it. But this carburetor is junk. All right, so far, carburetor's junk, top end is junk, oil is here. Let's put some in the bottom end and see if the bottom end's junk. It's gonna be a costly project. Not gonna completely fill it up. Just put in a little bit. See if we get any leaking over the next few hours. All right, so let's just look at the valve cover. Lift this off. Let's take a quick look. Honestly, not bad. So if there's any saving grace, I gotta check the head underneath, but the valve cover, it doesn't look bad. So looking at this, it doesn't look like it overheated. Didn't look like there's a lack of oil. Everything still looks okay. So maybe the bottom end is good. I guess we get to take off the head and check. Oh look, someone checked the valves 11 years ago. All right, so back plastic's off. That's pretty much destroyed. This is still crunchy, even with the carburetor out. So I think this needs to be taken off. These are pretty worn out. Probably needs to get cleaned up anyway. While I have everything apart, might as well just go one step further. All right, so it's been a few hours. Let's go ahead and check. Oh, there is some oil. Okay, so it is leaking. Oh, okay. So it looks like it's coming from the chain case cover. So, yep, that does look scraped. Ooh, look at that. There is an indent right there on the stator cover on the side right there, which is great news because that means the case here is not leaking any oil. I'll go ahead and check everything down here, but yeah, it looks like it's that little hole right there. Looks like it took a hard shot on the outside and pushed in, nothing came out. So probably, yeah, just need to replace the cover down here. So that's pretty good news. Right now it's pointing to the crankcase doesn't need to be split, and it's obviously not dripping fast enough that you would lose all your fluid on your ride, but if you leave it over winter, it could potentially lose the fluid. So far, kind of lines up. I will end up buying one of these covers for the stator, and then we'll go ahead and replace it. So with that, I'll add one more thing to the list. So the header is off. There was actually no gasket on it, which is kind of concerning. So someone probably went in there, checked to see how it was doing, and you can't really see anything in there. So without having a gasket on there, I'm wondering if someone started taking it apart to see what they could see, what was wrong with it, and couldn't find anything. So they just put it back together, but didn't reuse the gasket. Or maybe it was just sloppily put back together at some point. But oil's draining. After oil's drained, we're gonna go ahead and get this head off, take a look inside. To take a chance I'm going to be able to get this unstuck, I bought some Marvel Mystery Oil, and I decided to pour it down the cylinder to see if I could help it break apart some of that rust so that I can potentially turn it over. I'm going to go ahead and leave it overnight. We'll see how it does, and then we'll try to turn it over. Oh, it's moving. My oil's coming out. Exhaust valves are moving. Definitely crunchy in there in that cylinder. I do not know what that pop is, but so we have to figure it out. Okay, so it looks like we're actually, the bottom end is moving, so the bottom end is not frozen. I'm guessing it's just that crunchy area in the cylinder, which I'm gonna need a new cylinder, but we are now actually moving over. All right, so the good news is I'm doing this is I can spin the engine around. It completes a full rotation and it doesn't appear to be like hard stuck on any of the valves or anything. So on the borescope, you can see some scoring on the inside. We'll have to see how bad that looks. You can also see some of the flaking that has come off from the wall. So don't know where that is. Probably need to get that out of the bottom end or at least clean up the bottom end before this runs. But so far, it looks like maybe the bottom end is in okay condition, and it's really just the cylinder that froze over time and making good progress. All right, so we're sitting at top dead center right now. You can tell because the lobes are pointed backwards. Getting ready to take out the camshaft up here, and then I can go ahead and inspect it. All right, so these need to come off in a crisscross pattern. So I'm just gonna go ahead and loosen them. All right, now once I take this off, it doesn't want me to lose the chain down there, so I'm gonna put some zip ties on this. Right side lifter. With that, I'm going to end up cleaning that up. And obviously the pistons need to be replaced. The head, honestly, the head cleaned up pretty good. I haven't finished cleaning it, but just wiping it down with some carburetor cleaner, it does look good. I mean, there's no damage to the valves, the plug, there was no damage there. Everything needs to be cleaned up, washed. I need to figure out if I'm gonna get this rebuilt or if I'm gonna just, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet, but let me know down in the comments if you know what I should do with this. It's either clean it and then run it, or it's send it out to get worked on. I mean, my biggest concern is the intake track here where, you know, the crap got in and obviously got into the engine. So other than that, that's all set. Now the piston, I mean, no damage there either. It looks like he literally just let it sit way too long. Well, this looks like what happens when you let your bike sit for 8 years. It's free, it's turning out over. Now I'm gonna go ahead, take off the head, and then get all the parts on order. But I don't know exactly what I need to order. Hopefully you guys can give me some advice on it. Time to get the stator cover off. Now, if you remember, this is the area that is leaking and that has the damage below it. So going to pull everything off. We're gonna buy a new one and see what everything looks like behind here. All right, so there's a ton of sludge in there that's gonna need to be cleaned out. I don't know exactly how that got in there, if it's just old oil or what, but yeah, everything there needs to be cleaned out. I mean, you can see in the bottom all the junk. I don't know what it is. Maybe the guy tried to stop leak, but who knows. But there's the damage that I'm replacing. And then there's all the crap. I don't know. That's a lot of junk in there for oil. I did take my magnet, I went through it. There's nothing actually metallic in there. So the flywheel puller will be here tomorrow, so I'll be able to take that off. All right, so now let's get the cylinder out and the piston. So cylinder's nice and easy to get out. Luckily, it's not stuck anymore, so out it came. All right, so looking at this, the crank feels pretty good in there. It is nice and just, it's tight. So it doesn't feel like there's any play. The piston actually feels good too. So it's just like you left it for a long time and didn't touch it, and it just seized, which is unfortunate. All right, so the bike's well taken apart. Now I gotta make some decisions. Not exactly sure what to do with the crankcase yet. Do I split it? Do I not? I'm gonna try to do some more inspections and maybe get the borescope in there, take a look around. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and look at the expected costs as I'm rebuilding this. So for the bike, I paid $1,000 for it. The oil filters, consumables, this odds and ends that I need, probably $115. I ended up getting a carb repair kit before I took apart the bike. Didn't need to spend that. But another $160 on the odds and ends there. A carb insulator, you've seen the one that's on there. It needs to be replaced. Bearings, I've decided to replace all the bearings on the bike. So on the steering, the swing arm, etc. I'm buying a top end kit from Vertex and I'm going to pair that with a new OEM cylinder. I feel like that's probably the best path for me to go right now, looking at everything on the bike. Top end kit comes with a timing chain, a bunch of gaskets that I need, and should be able to pull that together. The throttle and everything's frozen, so I need some throttle parts and the grips. Don't know if I need a hot start yet. Have to see what the carburetor comes with that I get, but it does come with a hot start. I don't know if it comes with the full length cable on it too. Now for the carburetor, I was only able to get an OEM one off eBay. That was $500. One that was in decent condition. There's two there. There was one that was $500 and then there was one that was covered in dirt for like $300. I decided to go with a more expensive one. It wasn't $500 for the carburetor. A lot of the cost was international shipping to get it here from Canada. Unfortunate, but it's what I got to do to get a carburetor. And then the left case cover. So with this is the left side that is leaking. Replacing this, $140. I probably could have fixed the case cover that's on there now, and I might still do that to have a spare with some marine weld or something like that. Even if it did leak again, it's not a fast leak. It's like a drip every hour or so. So if I'm out on a ride, it's not going to be an issue unless it gets hit again. Could fix it, but I decided to purchase a new one. With this, my cost of the bike is like $2,700. If I were to sell it, I would probably sell it between $2,750 and $3,000. And with that, basically making a minimal profit. And realistically, I'm going to find more things that I need to replace on the bike just to get it to where I want it. So I'm going to be slightly negative if this doesn't all work out. One thing you don't notice on here is the head. So I decided to take apart the head first, and I'm going to do that tonight. And I want to see what's actually wrong with it. Looking at it, it looks like it actually has upgraded valves. So at least on the intake side, which is the problem that these bikes have, is the original valves do sometimes get frozen and pretty much destroy an engine. So with that, I'm going to take it apart, see if I can clean them up, see what everything looks like. It looks like everything's moving freely. I just need to see if that needs to get replaced. If I do need to replace it, $1,000 really breaks the bank. Well, that's it for this week on Smackey's Garage. Hope you guys enjoyed the kickoff of this mini series. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.